Welcome to the remainder of Week 5 highlights in the United States Chess League. This is FM Mike Klein reporting. Half of the season is now in the books as the Western Division teams finished up play late Wednesday night. We now have a clear favorite to win the division, but no team is out of playoff contention yet. All 4 matches on Wednesday were decisive. The Dallas Destiny are like a runaway train in 2012. They've won nearly 75% of their matches, and in Week 5 they took care of the LA Vibe 3-1. The Destiny continue to lead the West and are now ahead of their nearest rival by 1.5 points, while the loss remands LA to the basement. GM Conrad Holt held off the isolated queen pawn and won as black, while on board 3 his teammate FM Alec Getz also won, but in a much less technical way. His opponent, WGM Tatev Abrahamian, liquidated his center and chucked all of her pieces at Getz's king. For 5 consecutive moves, she launched a barrage of new pieces. But after 19 f3, she made her first retreat, when the exchange sacrifice rook takes f3 was probably warranted. After g takes f3, knight f2 check, king g1, knight d3 discovered check, followed by knight takes b4, and she'll have an armada of pawns for the exchange. Instead, she lost the initiative after queen h5. Although it threatens knight takes h2, Getz found h3 on his second attempt. The game was short on accuracy but high on unpredictability, with the evaluation changing after nearly every move. After Getz untangled his pieces, they swarmed the underdeveloped black position. Abrahamian's final mistake was 27d4, allowing a fatal invasion of white's pieces. 2 teams got back to 500 in Week 5, the first being St. Louis, who ended the Sluggers' 3-match winning streak by winning 3-1. The star of the first half of the Archbishop season has undoubtedly been international master Priyadarshan Kanappan, who has scored an amazing 4.5 out of 5, including 2 wins over both GMs that he faced. He leads the entire USCL in MVP points, and this week he dispatched FM Slava Mikhailuk on board 2. On board 3, I am Levan Bragadze, also of St. Louis, infiltrated the light squares, and after 21 bishop f7, things were desperate for black, as his queen was cut off from the defense. FM Kurt Collier had to sack the exchange. Instead, he went for bishop e8, which allowed a trade, and Collier quickly resigned in view of queen takes e8, rook d7, threatening mate, queen h5, e7, and black is defenseless. Arizona also got back to even on the season with a 3.5 to 1/2 trouncing of San Francisco. The Scorpions' IM Levan Eltunian won a long endgame on board 2, while fellow IM Mark Ginsburg ran his record to 3.5 out of 4 on the season by beating FM Yan Liu. After winning the exchange in a position where it would have been better to keep the bind, Ginsburg lost the thread, and Liu got counterplay. Ginsburg reclaimed the initiative with 38b3, allowing himself to go down a pawn in hopes of trapping Liu's bishop with 40f4. After achieving a knight for 3 pawns, Ginsburg later used his final 3 pieces to mate black before the pawns made it down the board. In the final match, the Carolina Cobras lost their second match in a row, as the Miami Sharks downed them 3-1. A quick win on board 4 greatly helped the Sharks, as Nicky Rosenthal overcame National Master Joshua Mew's pet opening to give Mew his first loss in his USCL career. Up a piece, but with his king facing pressure on the diagonal and on the e-file, Rosenthal played the cool 16 knight f3, seemingly ignoring both threats. Mew answered rook e8, probably hoping for knight e5, rook takes e5 with some counterplay. But Rosenthal played the super accurate knight g5 check, and showed the f-file attack trumped the e-file. He finished the game succinctly, with mate in 23 moves. Next week will be the final interdivisional matches of the season, where the West will look to avenge their 6-2 loss in Week 4. Until then, we'd like to thank our sponsors, PokerStars, Chess.com, and the ICC.